In a previous video, I played a little bit with a bash script that used the at command that sort of helped schedule a job to run in the background. And now I want to play just a little bit more and add some permissions. So sort of sudo plus at. Okay, so I have my script. Again, if you don't have the at installed, it didn't, for me in Ubuntu, it didn't come, my Ubuntu virtual machine, it didn't come automatically. I had to install it. I am running this script. This script has nothing, line 12 has nothing to do with the jobs. I'm just taking the date and overwriting it into a file called thing.txt. And then I'm going to make to use my at command to make two jobs. And I want to give one of the jobs, use sudo on one of the jobs and give it permissions. So first I'm going to run, grab this command here. So this is the command that sort of requires permission. So let me get rid of that, bring it back when I need it. So if I try to put, if I'm in the root and then var, and then try to write some file, put some data in there, that is a permission denied sort of a thing that would require a sudo. So what I'm trying to do is then give this job the permissions to see if it can then perform this. And then a normal thing, just writing to thing, and then here I'm starting another. So, but this first job started with sudo. And so this is the job that should have permissions. Down here, I'm running a second job, and one of them is 2 minutes from when I run this script, and one of them, the second job, is 3 minutes from when I run the script. And we use sort of, when you use at, if you're on the command line, you use at, it sort of gives you a new prompt. So this done at is sort of delimits what is in the job. So these two lines, 17 and 18, are in this first job, and this echo is in the second job. So let's see what happens. I want to run bash. I'm in my documents, that is where my script is, so I don't need to do any additional. I don't need any path because I'm in the location where the file is. I haven't given this file any permission, so I do need the keyword bash. And let me run it. I did a sudo, so it's asking me to enter a password. And it didn't like my time on the second one. And I see my problem because it says at. So I mismade file. So, okay. Well, let's see what we have here, and then I will fix it. Or let me, it was my second job that I screwed up on. So I did give this first job is working, and we see here that it's listed as root because I ran it with permissions, and it should run at 1021. So if I blather on to 1021, we can see if it writes the file, and we'll see if it also wrote the file in the var, which that's what we required the permissions for. And then I also, down in 25, where I use the command atq to see my the jobs, my list of jobs, my job queue, that also had a sudo. if I did not have the sudo there, I would not see this job because it's not my job, it's root's job. So I can run, well, there's 1021, so let's see what happens here. Let me cat, what did I call it, thing.txt. And there is the original date I put in line 12. Then there is this job line that I add in 18, which required the permissions. And then here's my thing.txt in my var folder. So, and that was not there previously. And let me see if I can look up the properties. It was written at 1021. It was written by the job. It's written in a place that I showed at the beginning that required the permission. Okay, so let's try this one more. Let me do ATQ. I have no jobs. Let me do sudo ATQ. Nobody, not root, not me. Nobody has any jobs. Let me fix. I had my second job had at twice, so that was my fault. I apologize. Let me find the bash and run that. And now you can see that if I run ATQ, I only see my job, but this down here was the sudo at. What ran as part of the script was sudo ADQ, and we see then it was showing the root job and my job. But if I look at ADQ, I only see my job. And if I want to kill a job, I use ATRM. If I want to kill just my job, that's good enough. But I would need to kill root job. I would need a sudo, of course. Okay. So we have now the two jobs, one with permissions, one without, one under the root user, one under the Plum user. And that's more or less what I wanted to show you. I don't know if I should wait for the end. It's 24 and 25. But I think I will just end there and say that that's what I wanted to show you, that I can give these permissions. What time is it? It's still 10:20. Let me close the window and show that it has sort of nothing to do with that original terminal being up. So that the existence of that terminal has nothing to do with it. And I should run one later time. Sometimes when you run a sudo, it sort of, I don't know, starts a clock, and the sudo is good for a while. And then if you wait too long, the sudo runs out. Now, I don't know if that's for the scheduling of the job, but then the job, if the job is scheduled, it will have the permissions. It's, as far as it's concerned, it's root's job, but I should give that a more thorough test. But that's probably going to take me to make a job, and that's, half an hour later or a day later, and check in on it. And of course, I don't want to make a video that long, but there is my 10:25. I've blathered on long enough to give this a test. Let's bring up a terminal and move into documents. And let's look at thing.txt. And there was the first job run, and this is the script itself and not a job. This was the the job that was root's job, and then this was just my job. But they all had access to the file. And let me do down here, I guess I'll need a sudo cat var thing.txt and enter my password. And then there are the dates that I have that I'm writing to var, and that is the thing that needed the permission. So I actually am using my permissions, and the only thing I have left to test, but I can't test it in a video. It will take too long. It's just to see if there's any sort of timing out that might happen. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you here. Thanks for your attention.